Hi everybody, welcome to this new video for the GenAI Nerd channel. And in this video I want to explain how you can easily step by step create a digital twin of yourself as an academic in ChatGPT. Now, why is that relevant? I often now provide workshops at universities on how GenAI can be leveraged for academic research, and you see that a lot of people today are indeed prompting in ChatGPT to help them with searching for literature, to get inspiration, to optimize text. But what I notice is that often people do not really provide a lot of context to the prompt. And context is actually where you define your identity, and it always makes sense to give that kind of context because then ChatGPT can tailor the output much more to your identity. And today actually it's quite straightforward to create a strong identity in ChatGPT, and I will show you which steps you can execute to really create very good context that will drastically improve also the output of your ChatGPT prompts. So let me show you how we will do this, and we will start by going to ChatGPT and first of all create a kind of personal CV of your academic accomplishments. So let me show you how you can do this in ChatGPT. We are in ChatGPT 4.0, so this is the traditional model, and here is the prompt that I have prepared. So I ask it to generate a report about the academic accomplishments, focus and style of Dries Vam. So I will now do it for myself. I ask it to kind of create a report with an overview of the core topics that I have studied, what kind of research I tend to do, and what is kind of the voice that I bring forward in my publications. And so I ask it then to create a report that can be the starting point for creating a digital twin. So this is the prompt that I formulated, quite a straightforward prompt. And here is the output that we are getting. So of course it will here enable the web search functionality. So it will go to the web to search for information. And actually here it actually gives a very accurate overview of my academic accomplishments, about the core research topics that I have studied, about the research style and methodology that I tend to use, and kind of my scholarly voice. So this is a nice overview of what I've done. We could push this more by using, instead of 4.0 model, that we use a reasoning model. You could even do a deep research here, and then you will get a more extensive PDF report. But actually, for creating my digital twin, I think this is more than enough information at this stage. So now let's go to the next step, where we actually want to use this information to create a persona that we can use as context. So let me show you how we can do this. So now I opened a new chat in ChatGPT 4.0, and here I have a new prompt. And so in this prompt, I actually ask it to create instructions for a persona. So we want to create a kind of description of a persona that I can use as context in prompts. And I simply say, okay, create for me instructions, and then I say, please rely on the information below. And here I've simply copy-pasted the information that we have generated in the prior step. So I just copy-pasted the output of the prior prompt in this prompt, and then I executed the prompt, and then you will see that it starts to create for me a kind of academic profile. So it's saying, act as Dries Vam, Professor of Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Technological Transformation, maintain academic credibility. So this is kind of where we create instructions that ChatGPT should obey when executing prompts. And again, it gives quite some information. So in this way, I now can use this as context when I'm executing prompts. And one way now to use this is to simply copy paste. So I can now have these instructions, I can copy paste them. And then every time when I want to do a prompt about academic research, like searching for references or getting inspiration, I can simply add this part to the prompt to give ChatGPT a lot of context. This is one option you can do, and that's especially relevant in the free version. However, when you have the Plus account, you also have projects. Here on the left-hand side, you can see projects. And then actually we can go the next step. We can create a project where we can really kind of define my digital twin. And so here now I can press on new projects. And so now let's call it academic digital twin. So this is my new project. I create a project. And now you will see that here I can add instructions. And so this is the place where you can actually add context. And every time when you execute a prompt in this project, it will take that context into account. So you don't have to always mention it. It's just in the backend automatically. So now I can actually paste here my profile into the context. And in that way, we have actually created my academic digital twin in a project. So now I can save it. And now every time when I do a prompt in my project, which is kind of a folder, like you have folders on your OneDrive. I now have a project folder with my academic digital twin. And so now every time when I do a prompt in this particular project, it will take all that context into account. You can even add additional files. For instance, if you would want to upload papers that you have published as examples, you could do that. But I think the most important thing is to give it clear instructions. So now let me briefly show you what you can then do with your academic digital twin as an example. You can do, so here as an example, what did I do? I uploaded a paper of myself that I published quite recently. This is a conceptual paper on innovation theater. So why is innovation theater happening? What are the drivers of innovation theater? What are the advantages and disadvantages of innovation theater? And now let's imagine that I want to use this paper as a starting point for my next research project, and I want to leverage ChatGPT to give me inspiration. So now what I can do, I'm now in my project, so I'm now in my academic digital twin. So in the backend, I will have my instructions, and now, for instance, I can write a prompt. Can you help me to get inspiration for my next quantitative research project where I want to study potential moderators for the relationships that are proposed in the attached paper. In this new research project, I want to focus on a particular setting of corporate venture capital. We can now, for instance, enable the O3 model so that it will do the reasoning itself. So now let's press enter and see what we will get. Okay, so now the output has been generated and you see it has been thinking for 26 seconds. And now we will get the output. First of all, we get a kind of small recap, but then here you can see it actually generates for me some tables with potential moderators, why they matter and how they could be measured. So these are CVC unit level moderators, but I also have corporate level moderators, external ecosystem moderators, and here it also gives me a kind of initial idea on how I could design the empirical study. And so you see, I now already get very tailored information. And if I would not have given it this identity, this digital twin identity, typically, in my experience, the quality would be lower. And so I hope that this makes clear that by kind of creating this specific project where you have created your own kind of digital twin identity, you can really get high-level quality output that can really help you in your research endeavors. So I hope this makes sense and that this can help you to really push ChatGPT for your academic research. So thanks for attending and looking forward to meet you again in the next video. Thank you. Bye.